I want to give an overview to start with on the project drawings file and screen. Basically what this is doing is it's taking the project and it's going to the top level down, starting with the highest end item. And what it's doing, it's breaking down all the different relationships between the main assemblies, sub-assemblies, down to the parts. And for example, if this particular thing was a control voltage management unit, and it had a panel with gauges and in positions, what we would be doing is anything that was in relation to the top level part number and the drawing with the drawing description and all the information about the drawing as far as what type it is, the date the drawing was originated, and who was it drawn by. Plus, if it were checked out and you had drawing control that was pretty effective, you would have it checked out by checkout date and the date that it was supposed to be returned. In addition to that, you would have a drawing number of copies that were in control all the time. So how many drawings are out there for this particular main drawing for an assembly, or higher or lower? What you're doing is you're controlling the revisions and the current drawings, where if somebody is working with a drawing, you want to know that they have the latest one with the latest revisions and the latest drawing date, so that people are not working against the wrong level of drawing. And there is a condition here where you're setting current version, the revised version, and the suspended version, and do not use on the record. What happens is you would recreate a record for each top level part number by the part number in the project. So there would be many different part drawings from the top level main assemblies, sub-assemblies, down to the drawing parts. So let's picture what we're doing here. We're creating a drawing, and it could be either the top level or a system level sub-assembly, or a smaller than a sub-assembly unit. So what you're doing is you're looking at the total picture of the drawing package. What you're doing is you're putting in the part number, the vendor part number, the part description, the next higher assembly, and the unit on which this part number is assigned. For example, in this case, this part number would be the assigned one here. It may have another dash number here, and this one may be a lesser part in a sub-assembly within the item. How many are actually used on the particular assembly or system? And then the part cost at the cost level. And then the sum times the one times this, and then the summary for the total. So you can see within the drawing package, if you modified any amount of the parts or the pricing, you could adjust the entire package price for the assembly, sub-assembly, or system based on changes downstream within the drawing package. The whole goal of this is also to be able to take and modify something in the design. For example, maybe taking some kind of a component out of it, or changing the current drawing design for that part, and how it would affect the price and also the full drawing package for that particular system, subsystem, or assembly, or major part that you have in the system. So this is a good way to identify and manage your drawing package, where you have control and also breaking it down to the littlest part within the system. And down here at the bottom, to finish this off, you have a place for notes. And you also have a drawing select portal where you can move between the different drawings to compare the information you have in there. Plus you have a scrolling thing here that will allow you to look at where the same part number may be used in other drawings, so you would know that that part has some existence other than within this drawing. So you can also manage the control over those drawings in that drawing package where it may be pertinent to changes in both the packages. So it gives you a global look and a micro look at each drawing and each drawing package down to the last part in the drawing package. This is probably one of the best tools you can have for really managing all of your drawings down to the lowest level, all the way back up to the full end item that you're working with. Let's go ahead and look at the next thing on this drawing package. We're looking at the project drawings here. Let's go look at the drawing table. The drawing table is now the drawing at some of the highest levels. You're going to see each breakdown of all the drawings through here, and you can do a find in these in the individual record to break them into a full in package and the items below that. So you can go into this area, and then in here you can break it down by using the information at the top of the screen. Keep in mind you cannot search in the actual portal unless you're in the portal record for the drawing portal. You can then do a record search within that area, and we'll see that over here where we have the drawing listing. This is a little different, where you can do searches and stuff and break these out by the part number, and then build a pricing tool as far as what they actually look like in the parts data listing. Let's go back in here, and we're looking at the drawing tree. Now this is a little bit more condensed, where you can see more information. You have the drawing package, the top level drawing, you have the part number, the vendor's part number, and this is where you would do that look like you're talking about the portal record, where you might want to pull together a package of information and then get a summary total at the bottom of it based on what you're looking at. This is where you could take, for example, you could take a subassembly that you make, and you can break it out and see what the cost for that subassembly is. Or you can break down the parts within the subassembly and see if you modified anything in it, how it would affect the end cost as far as making this or manufacturing this particular unit. So this is a very helpful way to look at a drawing package and very quickly change the way it looks and yet see exactly what the cost would be. Let's go back to the scenario where I said we had a door on a yacht that might have a different kind of metal treatment in it, and what the cost difference would be if you move those and change those. Well, this is the kind of a report that you would go to see how that affects the bottom line price on either a component within it, an assembly or subassembly, or parts that you can choose to change in it, and how it would affect the end product number on the drawing package by part or total. Okay, let's go do one other thing. Let's go down to the, we're going to go back in a bit. This is also a very good way to look at the drawing package. It takes a little bit of concentration to look at it. It's very similar to the screen we just left, but what it does in this one is it takes it by project, and then all the items within that project are semi-costed out depending on what they belong to as far as in the design of the tree. And then if you go down and scroll down, you're going to see the, for example, this is for 2,200 rather. And then this is 201 and 203. I can do a find and break out one and get a sub cost all the way down, or I can get a grand total all the way down for this thing. And if I modify this by either omitting a part using the omit from the do action, where I come over here and I say omit an item, I can see what impact it has on the value of the package. Or then I can add them back in, or I can break them out using omit them and then show omitted only, just to see what difference it makes in the price. For example, maybe I want to take out a full assembly of some sort and then put a different assembly in to see what the cost would be. I could search by either of the assemblies and see what the cost would be. And if there's a relationship across product lines, for example, if there's a package that we did sometime before and then a new one in the future, we can compare the two to see what the difference in cost of manufacturing and production is. This is a very comprehensive way to look at this application as far as the drawing and drawing package in the tree is concerned. The very last one we're going to look at is the parts data. Parts data is actually the individual records in here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to bounce up here and I'm going to go to the first record. Okay, we are in the first record, or I can go in the individual pieces and look at them individually. And once again, at the part data level, I can go ahead and do a find here and pull things up in a grouping or a usable on, and maybe I want to see where everything in this part number is used and what drawings or parts are affected within that group. So there's a lot of ways to look at this information. If you're going to have difficulty understanding how to use this, you can always contact us and I can walk you through a couple of examples, or even use your drawing tree to help you find that little bits of information that you're looking for. Never hesitate, because you get free technical support with this application, to ask and answer questions. And here down here you have another scroll thing. When you get enough parts in here, you can go look at that specific parts tree and see the parts and pieces within that tree based on the actual drawing number or part number that you're looking at. So we can take these back up to the drawing number and get looks at them. The specification, This is the individual information that you may want to send out to a vendor that you want to copy and paste into a specification or whatever it is based on the parts that you have had in inventory and have worked with in manufacturing for some time. This is where you would also have an image of the item that you can click on or tap on in the iPad and then insert an actual graphic or picture of that item. Now keep in mind you also can put in wiring schematics and stuff like that within this image area. So you have a little bit of lineage to do different things with this image field here based on the part and information and specifications that you're working with either vendors or within your own group. If you have any questions, like I said before, this concludes the tutorial. If you have questions, contact us through the support button on the Do Action right here, where you can go down and you can put on developer support. Get online, chat with us, and see if you have any things that you need to change or questions you may have, especially if you are using this in a single user format and you need maybe in the future to go to something like a multi-user environment where you want to have it on the cloud and have all people have access to it and be able to modify it with multi-user access. Thank you.